Let's roll, fellas. Let's roll. Welcome to another Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture show. You probably recognize that little bearded huckleberry over there as Delaware Dave. We talk about him a lot. If you're ever in Canton, check out the Pig and Rooster. Go say hi to our buddy. But without further ado, I'll let Brian and Dell, since they're fisting each other over there, introduce themselves.
Whoa. Our hands are above board here, buddy. All right.
They were not.
Well, thanks for having me on, fellas. It's been a little while. I'm happy to be back.
This is a dangerous day for all you guys listening, watching. Very dangerous.
It's going to be very dangerous, especially since one of my former roommates will probably be joining us here momentarily to he's an Eagles fan, and he's a little out of control, but he's calmed down a little bit. He'll probably be sober today, so we'll have PG rated Derek Klein.
The day is young, my friend.
It is. He asked me if he can drink for it. I said, you can do whatever you want for it, buddy. So he's out in California. I know he's handing off his youngster to a nanny right now. So he'll be joining us momentarily, talk about the Eagles, talk about his feelings towards the team this year and the Super Bowl. Also, we might even get a little knowledge from him on some baseball as well. He was drafted to the Detroit Tigers. So he's got a little bit of insight on some baseball stuff as well. So, but what did we say we wanted to start with today, boys?
Before we get going, Brooksy, we got to say, Dusty, feel better, man. I mean, you kick ass. I know you're feeling sick today, so had to bring in the reserve.
He claims it's not the Irish flu, which was my immediate thought.
Probably is. I mean, he was off yesterday, but no, he said he woke up at 4
a.m. cocktails in California right now. I mean, that'd be fantastic.
Handing off a baby.
Yeah, Joe, PG getting soft. We're not going to be PG, and neither probably is Derek, but you're going to get the toned down version of Derek today, probably. Maybe one of these other days we'll get them all fired up.
Derek is one of the scariest people I've ever met in person, because you even warned me about him, and even your warning didn't do any justice.
Yeah, he got overserved one night by the bearded fellow at the old RIP Nacho Mama's. He says he was overserved and then tried to fight the entire Loyola basketball squad over in Federal Hill that night. He goes, I think I was roofied. I'm like, no, I think it was the 3 hubcaps you drank, but teach their own. So
before we get going, I want to give a shout out to my buddy William Wells' birthday today. Woo-hoo! Will, happy birthday. Go Packers. Can't believe I'm saying that. You cheesehead Huckleberry. All right, but Will, I love you. You're an awesome dude, and keep your head up, man.
Yeah, other than that, just right off the bat, some news that came across, I think last night. We hired a new linebackers coach from Georgia Tech. I don't know much about him, haven't done a ton of research, so don't have a ton to talk about there. If you remember, we fired our linebackers coach, like, what was it, a week after the season or something like that? After we lost that game. So we'll see where that goes. I need to do a little bit more research to talk more educated on that. Other big news, Myles Garrett has informed the Cleveland Browns that he wants to trade. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I don't think it's all that shocking. They're in a horrible cap situation. They're in a horrible quarterback situation. It's not looking any better. They don't have any draft picks. I mean, why would he want to stay there in his prime?
In all honesty, the way he actually put out his statement for to request to be traded, it's one of the nicest things I've ever seen. Like how he's confident in the city, how he really wanted to be there and really wanted to win for that city. And the fact that he can't do it, and I agree with him. There's nothing he can possibly do more from a personal standpoint that he can't do anything. He cannot do anything to actually make the situation better. He's trying to get out of something, and I would love to see him go to the Ravens, but a team control for 3 more years, that's gorgeous. So where's he going to go? They're going to send him somewhere in the NFC.
Yeah, 14 sacks last season. If he had 28 sacks next season, it still wouldn't be enough to right that ship. That's still Cleveland out there being Cleveland.
Yeah, this guy. He's endured a lot. I mean, they had the 1 or 2 playoff years, I think. I mean, they were saying at the end of last year that he wants to. If this team has no intention of trying to go after some guys and make this team a winner, then why should he stay there any longer? And I don't blame him. The dude's a freak. He wants to go win somewhere, and he's getting towards the end of his prime, probably. So
29 years old, and the fact that when he came into the league, people thought he was too philosophical, stuff like that. He liked dinosaurs. He used to put gravestones out in the front of his yard for all the for every quarterback he sacked on Halloween. Like now, everyone's like he's like a diamond in the rough. Go sign that man. He has 102.5 sacks in 8 years. That is a stud. And look, with modern medicine now, he's got another 3 or 4 good years left in him. And you have 3 years of team control. Go get him. Why does he feel like a St. Louis Ram? Why?
Well, because I mean, St. Louis isn't there anymore.
There's no Rams there.
There's no Rams in St. Louis anymore.
I still call them the Redskins. All right, guys, give me a little reprieve.
Whoa, racist. Speaking of the Redskins, did you guys see this this thing the other day that came out? I just saw this in passing this morning that Dan Snyder thought about trying to figure out a way to call off the deal once the Commanders started having success this year and was pissed about it. Like that, what a spiteful little man.
What a loser.
He really is.
I mean, if the Redskins had gone to the Super Bowl and won, and you're the owner, would you just say, I'm out, I'm selling them right here, I've 1 year, won my title, I'm done, move on? I mean,
one for one, stock's never been higher.
It can't get any better. What are you going to do better?
I mean, the future looks bright for them down there, so I'd be pretty pumped if I'm the owner there, if I'm involved in that organization.
Team's all in with that coach, and young quarterback seems to be pretty legit. And
yep. I mean, for all intents and purposes, that guy, I mean, Daniels is potentially a top 5 quarterback in the league at the moment.
He's got to be MVP talk next year if he continues like this year.
I mean,
the favorite for next year. Seriously.
Did he really?
I think so.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. So Delaware, we're giving Delaware shit before the show. Todd Monken, I guess, did get an extension today. When we talked about it,
officially signed it.
Yeah, when we talked about it, it must have been like we were getting close to it. Was probably what we were talking about. We were getting close to an extension with him because I think we were saying like, "Are you upset about this?" Or some people were upset about this. But I think this is a great move, obviously. I mean, we've had one of the best offenses in the league the last 2 years. So, I mean,
if you want to talk about teams and turnover, so I read this the other day. From 1960 to 1923, the Detroit Lions had 1960 to 2023, the Lions had one coordinator leave to become a head coach. His name was Don Shula. And he was pretty good. So this year, they have lost both coordinators and 5 other coaches to promotions. So they are at 7 coaches signed with different teams, 2 as head coaches, 3 promoted to coordinators, and 2 more with just better jobs with other teams. So, I mean, losing a coordinator is, Monken would be a big deal, but that team has lost 7 coaches in a single season. That's a lot.
Yeah, and that's a shit ton. I mean, and so have the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles offensive coordinators keep flying like every year. It seems like I think we were talking about this last episode that Hurts has had a different coordinator almost every single year he's been in the league because they keep getting.
We were talking about Baker Mayfield, 8 coordinators.
Oh, sorry. No. I mean, well, that too, but Jalen Hurts because the Phillies offensive coordinators keep getting plucked for head coaching jobs. But yeah, same thing. Same.
I mean, my man Joseph Flacco had 2 coordinators in the same season twice.
Won a Super Bowl.
Once. Yeah.
Jim
Caldwell. Who was the offensive coordinator when they fired to bring in Jim Caldwell?
Yeah, white guy.
coached the Dolphins for a while too.
Yep.
Was it Zorn? It wasn't Zorn. He was the
Tim
quarterback
Zorn
coach.
was-
He was the quarterback coach for a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell me now.
Damn. Cam Cameron. There you go. Good call. Good call, Pigtown.
It was
Cam Cameron.
Cameron. There you go, Big Town.
You were right with the Dolphins coach.
Yeah.
We got Cam Cameron his only win when he was the coach.
Yep. They threw a pass to a white receiver going down the sideline. I think that's what really put the nail on the coffin for Brian Billick that year.
We were there.
Uh-oh. Connection issues already. Looks like they're doing the podcast from the Chaucer. So they're throttling us.
Yeah.
There you go. You're back.
I'm right above the router too, which is even worse.
The Chaucer's throttling us right now.
Are we there?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. All right.
All right.
So I want to do something that I'm going to give that was awesome real quick. Rick Pitino coming out and standing behind John Calipari, however you say his name. There's one person in the world who can actually relate to John Calipari is Rick Pitino, because he left Kentucky basketball and went to Louisville. And Rick Pitino said in a video statement that the hardest game he's ever coached, and he's won national championships for 2 different universities, was the game he coached when he went back to Lexington for the first time, because he got booed. So I hope that John Calipari, I didn't see the game. I haven't watched any of the footage yet. I will at some point or another. Hopefully, Kentucky fans, Big Blue, did not boo John Calipari when he came back with his Arkansas. And Joe Racky, I know you're watching, when he came back with his Arkansas team. So, but good job by Rick Pitino to come out and put a video footage out there and just say flat out, don't boo the man. Don't boo the man. He won you a national championship.
Multiple, right? I mean,
he won one at Kentucky.
That's kind of crazy that he only won one there, because he always, I guess his thing was he always choked in the NCAA tournament at some point.
He was the master of the one and done.
Yeah. I mean, he started it basically. What I'm trying to look up the score of that game, the final score of that game right now.
I'm sure Kentucky beat him, but
yeah. But I mean, when I was watching, it was, I mean, Arkansas was up for a good bit. Joe probably knows before I even look it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, Arkansas was up for quite a bit before I fell asleep. 89-79.
I guess what I'm getting at is it's good form by Rick Pitino. Like I said, there's one person that can really relate to him.
Oh shit! Yeah, Arkansas won.
Holy shit!
89-79.
There you go,
dude. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Good for Cal, because he was getting run out of town there, and I just kept. I mean, I've got quite a few Kentucky fans now from being out here. Friends now that I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Like, this guy has like made your brought your university back for a while. I mean, it's not his fault that these guys just keep leaving. That team has always been playing well by the end of the season. They always start off a little rocky with all the freshmen. The freshman one and done's trying to gel and stuff again, but I don't know.
Come out today?
I don't know if they did or not.
Noon-ish, so we can take a look.
Because our Terps should be ranked, they're at the bottom of the top 20, don't you think? 4 straight wins, a couple of them on the road.
You would think, and against 2 ranked teams during that span. And I mean, unbelievable, man. I thought they should have been ranked last time, and I don't know, whatever. Like Dusty said, rankings don't mean shit, but I mean, I kind of want them to not be ranked just to keep a fire under their ass.
Yep. And we're an underdog against Ohio State.
What?
It's Thursday.
Oh, that's a nice long break for them.
I had a week break.
Okay. What a joke.
So on a going right turn from the left hand lane, as I like to say. You want to talk about Justin Tucker?
Since you brought it up, yeah, we could talk about it a little bit. Thoughts? Initial thoughts, boys?
the jokes are endless. You know, that we're going to just trade him to Cleveland. I don't see how he stays. When Harbaugh made some pretty very black and white comments. He made a decision that there's no room for that in the NFL, and how can So these are very similar to the accusations for that quarterback or for that player, and I don't think he's going to end up with criminal charges. It's going to all be in the media and in civil court. So, how long did the Ravens sit on this, and will that play a factor into how much abuse they take? Because, this has been swirling now for, years.
And Brooksy, you and I and Dusty, we've all talked about this a couple times, behind the scenes. And there have been rumors for a while, like Dell just said. Inevitably it was going to come out, and Harbaugh has made those hard stances. This is an organization that is absolutely ready to take on something like this because of the Ray Rice situation. None of these things are positive, by the way. But I trust the system. I trust the team. I just they'll figure out a way to make it work the best way it can.
Are you guys? I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter pissed that the Ravens haven't come out and said much about this. They made a small statement. People are saying like, "Oh, they haven't said anything yet," and I'm like, "Well,
there's
they came
really
out and
nothing
said
to
something."
say until the NFL formalizes their stance.
Yeah.
Because if it's simply accusations in a small newspaper in between the Super Bowl and the playoffs, that obviously they're categorizing as a hit piece. They would have no formal stance.
And you have to assume the NFL is probably also in cahoots with them, and what to say, what not to say nothing, say something. So it's a shitty situation all around. Do I see him on the team next year? No. But the point of this podcast and the point of a lot of sports talk is to get you away from the shit that is what Justin Tucker is accused of.
Yeah, it sucks when when there's smoke, there's fire. Usually there's probably something there. Like you guys said, he's not going to be charged criminally because the statute of limitations is up. Obviously there's a bunch of civil stuff coming up. There's a lot of questions as to why it's coming up now, since this was all between 2012 and 2016. Obviously doesn't make it right, but it's just weird that it's coming out now. There's a lot of speculation that this was, I shouldn't say speculation, but a lot of people on like Twitter and forums and stuff like that saying, well, he just had the worst year of his life. Did the Ravens know about this? And now they sent something out there because they need a reason to get rid of him. I don't think so. That would be really shitty. And I'm not putting anything past anything these days, to be honest with you. But I just don't see that as our organization doing something like that. That's more of a Browns move.
And that shot across the bow right there with a little Browns move comment.
Had to. But yeah, it sucks. There's definitely something behind this, in my opinion. That's just an opinion. But yeah, it's innocent until proven guilty at this point. Does it make me think different of the man? Yes, for sure. And if it's proven to be like all this shit was made up, then we always say, like the Ariza stuff, the punter for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We need to have the same kind of fire coming back towards whoever was putting all this accusations and stuff out, when basically trying to ruin somebody's career and really screwed up Ariza's
tread lightly with this statement here.
Yep.
I always have this question when it comes to things of this nature. Why wait a decade before you come out with this stuff?
There's a lot of stuff. It's just weird. Usually this stuff happens when like somebody else, like if this happened at the same time that the Deshaun Watson stuff was happening, because usually that gives people a little bit more empowerment. They feel a little bit better about doing it. When other kind of like the Me Too movement, it usually makes people feel a little bit more confident to do it. But a lot of people are embarrassed when stuff like this happens. So I don't know.
Brooks, you might know this. Is there a statute of limitations on this?
Yeah. It's a year. It's a year. We're past it. It's so everything that comes in the court cases is all going to be civil stuff. Regardless, it sucks. So hopefully this is all speculation. Hopefully it's all true. I mean, true. Hopefully it's all false.
Wait,
Hopefully none of it's true is what I was trying to say. Hopefully none of it's true. It's a serious matter. Hopefully we're not really a serious show, but we have to get serious for stuff like this. But yeah, that's all we can really say on it. We don't really have a ton of facts yet. We just have a couple interviews and accusations at this point.
Yeah, so. I'll put it this way: one of the Ravens in Chaucer the other day, and he's on the phone, and I don't know who he was talking to. I'm not going to name the name, but he goes, "Hear this shit about Tuck?" Because it doesn't seem like him. That's exactly what one of the Ravens said.
Yeah,
we'll see. I hope it's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously a big financial hit because even if it's, we won't be seeing any more Royal Farms opera commercials. We won't, so he's going to lose. I mean, it's financial. I mean, it's he's going to lose a chunk of cash.
That's what Dell said. Dell said to the Raven player directly, but he goes, "Hey, that Royal Farms commercial might be open pretty soon."
Seriously. But yeah, it sucks. What was the other thing I wanted to bring up? One other thing before we bring our resident Philly fan on to talk about his feelings towards the team and the Super Bowl coming up. Shit, what was it? It was on the tip of my tongue right before you brought up Justin Tucker. The Luka and
the NBA trade.
The NBA trade.
So
I know we're not real big NBA guys in here, but it's a trade like this is worth talking about.
They're saying this might be the biggest trade in NBA history because they're both all NBA players of last year, or at least of years prior. I think Anthony Davis is like a 2 or 3-time All NBA player. Luka, I think 5-time in all 5 of his years. He's 25 years old, still has control. Dell and I were talking about this before we came on the podcast. Because of this trade, he's no longer allowed the Supermax deal. So he actually lost $100 million by being traded to the Lakers. And Terps just got ranked number 18. Thank you, Big Town. Zach, you man.
Yeah. About time.
Hell yeah.
About time.
Should they be?
That's a massive trade. And for Shams Charania to come on and say he had heard nothing of this is stunning because that guy is so tapped in. He's the Adam Schefter of basketball.
It sounds very personal that they would trade, that the Mavericks ownership, the post-Cuban ownership group, that they just don't like this player because he's younger. He's such a talented player. To unload him for an older, injury-prone player, I just thought it was odd.
I mean, Charles Barkley notoriously calls Anthony Davis street clothes. He's always been street clothes.
Yeah, and then they tried to like body shame Luka and say the guy's like 270 pounds and all this different stuff, doesn't take care of his body. Like, yeah, could he do a better job? Probably, but the guy's not 270 pounds. There's no way.
He's not 270, but he's every bit of 6'5", 6'6", whatever the hell it is. And he might be the slowest man on the court, but the most efficient man on the court.
Yeah. And I saw what was it? It was Jack Flaherty's tweet about like what would be the MLB equivalent to this? It would basically be like Harper for Tatis or something like that. Shit. Here's a good one. Gunner for Stanton.
Yeah, that would be. I mean,
that's a great call by Big Town.
I mean, there might be a few people that take playoff Stanton because that guy was a monster this year.
They were. Yeah, Laura, they were fat shaming him. They fat shame Zion all the time too. But that dude does somehow still jumps out of the gym when he's almost 300 pounds.
If I could be fat and do a spinning dunk, I would love to be fat the rest of my life.
Yeah.
She was talking about shaming Zion. That's because he was humongous.
Well, he was, but
That was a problem.
anyway, let's get on to some of the talk that everybody wants to talk about. Let's bring our Eagles fan, my old baseball roommate. Why the hell does my screen keep doing this? Mr. Derek Klein, everybody. What's up, Derek? How's it out in Cali?
Hey.
Well, this guy is fucking crazy, and I love him for it.
I served him in the old days.
Hey,
Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate you guys.
Are you on your phone, Derek?
Yeah.
Can you turn that?
Send me the text on the phone.
Yeah, can you turn that son bitch sideways?
Oh, you want it sideways?
Yeah, and then shove it right up your ass if you could.
My cornhole.
Yeah. There you go.
Let me see. Is that better?
Yeah. That way it fills up the whole screen.
Is that a new hat?
All right. No, I think I bought this in February 4th, 2018 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, after the Eagles defeated the Patriots in Super Bowl, whatever that was.
Man, he knew exactly what.
Yeah.
I have it. I don't want to disparage anybody or viewers on here, but I have it tattooed that date on my rear end. So.
All right, thank you.
That'll be another segment when we air that shot.
I came into the lobby a little bit little early, I guess, and was sitting. But I wonder if Jake Elliott is hanging out at these same massage parlors that Justin Tucker is, because I don't know what happened to him this year either.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Jake Elliott's had a tough year too. I mean, Christ.
Yeah,
I'm sure
not ideal.
Not ideal at all. Not ideal at all. He's not going to probably be a Raven next year if I had to put money on it. So what are your thoughts on the team this year, dude? How are you feeling? Are you one of these guys that thinks Sirianni is a jackass, or do you love Sirianni?
You know, I think after a couple years ago, where he relinquished most of his play calling duties and gave it over to the offensive coordinator. You know, I think he reads the writing on the wall. I mean, he was on the hot seat there, earlier this year, end of last year.
He was 7-0 and he was on the hot seat.
I understand. You know how it is. People want results.
I know.
But after the Eagles, they went 2-2 the first 4 games. And then they went they lost 1, and that was to the Commanders after Jalen Hurts gets knocked out in the first quarter. That's their only loss the rest of the year. They had 3 losses the whole year. They're hot. They look good. Everybody's great. The only question I would have is that how far is Jalen going to take them? I mean, everybody knows about the O-line, powerful, Saquon, monster, defense, top 5, number 1 or 2 in the league. Right.
Are they healthy?
Their center Cam Jurgens played half the game in the NFC Championship game. He had a back problem. Landon Dickerson looked like he's having
the backup got hurt.
Yeah. So they have Landon Dickerson moved over from guard to center. Then he ended up hurting his knee. Those 2 are all pros right there. Even after Jason Kelce was there X amount of years, 10 years, 13, 12 years. So
yeah,
they're both Alabama boys, I believe. I don't know where Cam Jurgens actually went, but I know Dickerson went to Alabama. But they should be healthy for the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't have any problems with any type of injuries. Brandon Graham tore his tricep. He should be back. He's back in practice. I don't know if he's going to be playing in the Super Bowl. Who else? Obviously, James Bradbury is out, right, the whole year, but their corners are strong. Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Slay, and Cooper DeJean. So yeah, it's exciting. And Nakobe Dean, he tore his patella against the Packers, I think it was. So he's out on IR.
All right, so put your allegiance aside. Realistically,
it always is as a Philly fan.
Who wins the game?
My futures bets in Vegas would say that I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So along with allegiance, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be close. They have Andy Reid, genius, Patty Mahomes, guy. Shout out to Matt Nagy, my JV football coach for 1 year.
I was gonna bring that up.
Offensive coordinator. I figured you would. So yeah. As you guys probably know, but yeah, Manheim Central, which is real close to tiny Lebanon, PA, where his wife was our cheerleading coach in high school, along with me, not on the cheerleading team, but on the football team.
Yeah, you were
I wish you would have been on the cheerleading. Damn, you'd have been good.
She you know, so and he was
Derek went from quarterback.
Rehabs. Yeah.
Derek went from quarterback to the sideline.
To pom-poms. Yeah.
You were a flyer. I can tell you were a flyer.
After my one concussion, yeah. Let me exactly. But I might have been on the sidelines with pom-poms after I got a concussion. After throwing an interception, GV game, Nagy's the coach. I go over to the sidelines. He slaps me in the head. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" But prior to that, meanwhile, I have no recollection of this. I'm calling wrong plays in the huddle. I threw like a slant like 5 feet down into the ground. And that's when he calls me over. He's like, "Well, get your head out of your ass. What's going on here?" So, but that was after I threw an interception. I went and tackled the guy that picked me off, and I put my head down right into his knee. I don't even remember. Like, they pulled me out of the game then. They're like, "This dude doesn't even know what he ate for lunch." Meanwhile, I'm over there with pom-poms. Yeah. But here's the thing. If Jalen Hurts has 0 turnovers, I think the Eagles win.
I'm more worried about just Sirianni leaving points on the board or off the board or not taking points so often. I mean, there was points in that Commanders game where I'm like, man, this decision could really come back and bite them in the ass. Luckily, it never got close enough for it to even make a difference. But I mean, there's a couple times where I'm like, why are you not just making this a 2-score game? You're trying to make this.
What do you mean by kicking a field goal?
Yeah. He was trying to make it
Jake
so.
Elliott. They know how Jake Elliott is.
Well, no, they would go. Well, they go. You don't think he could? I mean, it was a chip shot, Derek. I mean, the one that I'm thinking of, because if he hit this chip shot, you guys would have went up by 10. But he wanted to sit there and go for it to make it a true like 2 scores. Like touchdowns.
Was that the time when Frankie Four-Finger Luvu was jumping over the line on the 1 yard line and moving them closer, and then the refs had to intervene?
Well, it was before that, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna ask a roundtable question here. We'll start with Brooks, and then we'll go around. Better coach of each team.
What?
Brooks. We're all gonna go Andy Reid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think so.
Better quarterback, we all know Patrick Mahomes. Better philosophy. Team.
Yeah, I agree for the first 2. Yeah.
Philosophy? I mean, I'm still going to take Reid. I mean, he's done it for so much longer. How can he not go with them? I don't know.
I mean, the coordinator is old school smash mouth coordinator. He knows he's an all out blitz kind of guy. It seems to work for him. I mean, Spagnuolo is one of those coordinators that's probably not going to get another chance to be a head coach, and Chiefs are in a great spot having that coordinator.
Derek,
are we talking defensive or offensive, or what are we talking about?
Either.
Defense, I think, Spags is predictable, right? But it's like in the game, in the moment, is Jalen Hurts going to read that? I watched throughout these playoffs, especially, let's say, the past 2 weeks against the Rams and against the Commanders, where it's 3rd and, let's say, 5 or 10, right? And then it's like, hey, what do you think they're going to do? It looks like they're lining up to pre-snap that they're going to come on an all-out blitz. They usually did and put him under pressure. Meanwhile, you got Devonta Smith running a little 5-yard drag across the middle. He doesn't see him for whatever reason, holds onto the ball for a lot of time. You got single coverage on everybody else, but there is always somebody that's going to be open, in my opinion. If Jalen can read that, I think that the defensive coordinators are pretty even. You got Fangio and you got Spagnuolo, right? Offensively,
yeah.
You got Reid, Nagy against freaking Sirianni and Kellen Moore. I mean, you got to go Andy Reid, right? And Nagy, but I mean, I think Kellen Moore has done an excellent job stepping in this year, where
all right, here we go.
He kind of throws little wrinkles into it.
Best defensive player on the field.
Ooh. Oh shit. I mean,
I'm going Jalen Carter, and that's not a shot at Chris Jones.
I mean, I think it's Jalen Carter or Chris Jones. It's a pretty even matchup there. They're both great. I don't know.
I mean, I'll take the whole line, the whole Eagles D line.
Eagles
Yeah.
defensive line.
I mean, overall the Eagles for sure.
But best defensive player on the field, I'm going Jalen Carter. He's going into like superstar status.
Yeah. I mean, on the back end though too. I mean, Quinyon Mitchell, rookie out of Toledo, he looks great. You know, two picks in back-to-back games, playoffs. You know, he's almost like, what do they call him, Guantanamo Bay? I like it.
I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
Guantanamo Bay. Yeah. I blocked that from my memory. That Nam didn't. What was that?
The Michael
Bay. That experiment. Yeah, I can't. I go.
The dream team.
That's the dream. I have eternal sunshine of my spotless mind out of my memory.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the talent wise, I think the Eagles are off the board in terms of like over the Chiefs. It's just really what Derek said. I agree with Derek here. It's really, are they going to shoot themselves in the foot or not? Is really what it's going to come down to.
Personal opinion, I feel like Sirianni always shoots himself in the foot.
I mean, you say always, but he's barely lost any games this year.
That's
I'm aware, but in the front situation, he stinks. And I'll take Andy Reid all day.
Yeah.
You know what I can't stand? I can't stand Andy Reid. You know what they're going to do with Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy? You know, what's the stat out there for Kansas City? Their receiving core has like, outside of Xavier Worthy, like 2 receptions. They might have no receptions. I don't even know, but they have so few receptions besides Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce. It's like, come on. Granted, Xavier Worthy scares me. He's like the fastest player on the field.
Yeah, I mean, if Vic Fangio can't figure that shit out.
Yeah, it seems like Kobe Dean's out too.
Taking the Eagles. I know I just said everything against the Eagles. Taking the Eagles. They're more talented.
I don't think you said.
Outside of a couple positions, I agree. They are a more talented team.
Thoughts on how much?
I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes.
That's my whole thing. Like, I'm not betting this game. I don't think, besides like some prop bets. Like, if you had to like put a gun to my head, I'm probably gonna say the Eagles. But it's like I can't bet against the guy who just keeps freaking doing it. Like and he does it when everybody else thinks that that the team's not as good. It's just like
the line is super close. I think it's less than 2 points.
1.5.
Yeah, it's 1.5 to Kansas City right now.
Yeah.
Are you going to NOLA?
You know, my wife is working this weekend. So I can't. But you know, biggest regret of my life is that I fly to Minneapolis to watch the game, and I'm checking the ticket prices because for Super Bowls or big events like that, you can buy them a quarter or up to halftime. The price went down to $12.50, and I should have bought it. But in the back of my mind, I'm hammered at a bar across the street, freezing my little nubbies off, and I was like, I'm not paying $12.50 to go to this game and watch them lose to the Patriots. And that's the kind of mindset that I have. But looking back on it, I would have loved to. Instead, I just got hammered with Maurice Jones-Drew at some watch bar.
You would have been arrested.
Anyway, where I'm going with that is that the tickets, like, obviously it was in Vegas last year, so they're skyrocketing prices, right? But this year, I checked last night, they're around $3,500. That's not bad.
$3,500 is bad.
Pull the trigger.
Not bad, yeah. But again, the wife works. I gotta watch the kids. So my mom's gonna be in town randomly. I didn't realize that she was in town for the Super Bowl. So I'm watching it from the confines of my couch.
Yeah, it'd probably make you feel better if they lose. You don't have to fly all the way home.
I would, if you guys are betting on anything, I mean, I listened to a couple of podcasts about the Ringer Gambling, probably Bill Simmons, Cousin Sal, those kind of guys, they always love, I didn't even listen to him recently about this week, but they love Patty Mahomes' over rushing yards. Always in crucial games, love his over rushing yards because he'll pop off 10 yards, 15 yards whenever they need it, 3rd and long. He'll scramble out of the pocket. He's athletic enough and fast enough to outrun some of those people. I hope the Eagles clobber him, honestly, but if I was a betting man, granted, California doesn't have legal sports gambling, so I got to go to Vegas if I do anything. So, but his over/under prop rushing, I would assume is probably 35 or 45 yards. So,
his ankle looks awfully healthy, doesn't it? After he was gimping around the start of the playoffs.
He had a couple big runs last week.
Yeah, I don't even know what is his over/under.
Let me pull it up.
Hey, Brooks, you want to do our "That's a Shame" right now?
Sure, let's do it. I don't have one lined up personally, but I'll find one pretty quickly. Oh, you want me to play it? There you go. All right, Derek. So every show we do a "That's a Shame," or every week, I should say, where something that pops up that we're just kind of that we didn't like in the sports world. So while they're doing "That's a Shame," if you have one, if you think of one, let us know. If not a big deal. I don't have one either.
You started it. You're first, Mr. Rogers.
My "That's a Shame" is going to be very simplistic. Jimmy Butler, get out of the NBA. Just stop.
Okay. Explain.
You don't want to play for your own team. They tried to trade you to the Golden State Warriors, and you told the Golden State Warriors you don't play for them either. Get the fuck out of the league. Just be a fucking good person. You're making massive amounts of money, and you're really good at basketball. Stop being a douche of a human.
Delhi.
I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints front office and ownership. Apparently, they are complicit in covering up the release of names and even having information and getting names deleted for
the Archdiocese of New Orleans.
With the Archdiocese of New Orleans and about deleting names from the bad priests. And they're so in cahoots because the owner's faith that he was so involved that they were may have had names taken off because he was so involved.
What the hell?
You can't be raping kids and then hiding it. The cover-up is worse than the crime. And that's not disparaging anything from the children that were affected in this.
Yeah. So, that's off the cuff here right now. The Mavs, I mean, Dusty just put this in here. The Mavs ownership group, not even giving, they didn't even let Jason Kidd know that this was in the works, or even hey, just a heads up, this deal's done. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but he didn't even know till he found out from someone else. I think that's bullshit if you're not in sync with your head coach, or even asking an opinion. Even if you don't think he's going to agree with it, you should still at least give him a heads up about what the hell's going on. Hey, tomorrow this is going to come out. This deal's done. Sorry if you don't like it, but the deal's done. I didn't even tell him.
You're trading a landmark. You're literally trading the figurehead of your damn team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shady shit right there. Didn't like it.
Can you imagine being a person who bought a ticket to come see Luka Doncic play, and then he got traded out from underneath you?
Can you imagine being a Dallas Mavericks fan right now? You just went from Mark Cuban to this ownership, and
you're probably a Dallas Cowboys fan too. So it's just all same old.
Yeah. I mean, Dallas fans right now are they're spiraling. They've got to be. They're in a rough spot. Derek, did you think
it doesn't have to be sports related, or does that?
Nah, it can be anything.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got a good one anyway. Sticking with Philadelphia, that's a shame. 76ers ownership, handling of Joel Embiid. Get him out of there. What are you guys doing? They're coddling this guy. I was texting people earlier today. I was like, dude, they should have just traded Fat Luca for Fat Joel. That seems like a good trade. Why not? If they're trying to get everybody else out. Since the word on the street is that they're fat. I don't know.
Dude, we've talked about this ad nauseum. I think we're not even an NBA. We don't even talk a ton about the NBA, but Joel Embiid not playing, like he's played like 47% of the games that he was available for that he could have played in.
He said he won't unless he's injured, right? He said he's not playing back to backs.
Yeah, bullshit.
He won't play the second leg or the first leg. I don't even know. I've watched so little Sixers games this year, or probably out of all recent years. They were decent like a couple of years, right? But most recently, they stink. I can't even watch them. They rotate in these other like role players. Some are decent. They spent a ton of money on Tobias Harris. Get him out of there too. They gave him the max contract. I don't even know if they might have given him super max. I'm not even sure. But like Tyrese Maxey, yeah, he's a stud. But like freaking Tobias Harris, come on. Joel Embiid and even when Jimmy Butler was there, talking to your Jimmy Butler point, he's a bum too. Get him out of there. He's a cancer for the clubhouse or the locker room, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, Pat Riley even came out and said that he's washed up.
Can I transition to that was awesome?
Jimmy Buckets?
Yeah, Pat Riley literally said that he's washed up like a year ago, I think.
I'm going to transition to that was awesome. Del and I did some market research on this. Kanye West's girlfriend?
Bianca.
Yo.
Did you see the dress there? Did you see through the dress?
That's his wife.
Yeah. She walks out with a full-length giant fur coat, drops it on the floor, and she was wearing saran wrap.
I think she was wrapped in she looked like she was wearing a condom. Full body condom.
To be named in the next P. Diddy investigation. I don't know what's going on with them over there.
I mean, it was. I didn't see any baby oil, but
I mean, she probably had to put some on to get that thing on.
And then they got escorted out, so they didn't have tickets and they weren't invited. So
yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Brooks, or?
Yeah, that's kind of nuts that they just showed up without an invite.
I mean, if I was security, I would have told him that Yeezy, you got to go, but your lady friend can stay.
She can stay.
She was smart looking.
God. She was smart looking.
Wow.
All right. I did zero prep for this, but are we going to go back to the Super Bowl at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
So at work, I'm part of our let's call it social committee, and I'm tasked with all the sports related distributions and events that like March Madness, Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. All right. I got prop bets. I got 19 questions. We're going to go through them. The ones that I have for my work. All right. Length of national anthem. Over under 120 seconds.
Who's saying is it?
I don't even know. That's the greatest thing.
I'll take the over.
It's always over, right? It's only been under like once in the last 20 years or something.
It always.
Let's see who's.
It's always on that the word brave. It's always.
John Baptiste.
Right there. Say again.
John Baptiste. He's I think he's Stephen Colbert's late night show band.
So
sure he is.
It's John Baptiste, so it's going to be him and a piano. It'll be over.
Over.
Probably, yeah. I like it too. All right. Coin toss, heads or tails?
Tails. All day.
Always tails.
Always tails.
All right, I'll be the contrarian. Heads. You should keep a list to see how we do.
Classic.
Somebody write down what our
I have my crayon.
You got
your
yeah. It's written in crayon, so you know it's legit.
He's eating crayons. The red crayons always get eaten first, if you didn't know.
All right, what'd you say, Derek?
I gave up reds.
It's over for the
first offensive play, run or pass attempt.
Run.
Say it again.
First offensive play, is it a run or a pass?
First offensive play.
The run.
It's a run.
Derek, you got to answer these too.
I like the pass. Okay, yeah. Then I'll go pass. If the Eagles don't get it, pass. All right, first team that'll score, Chiefs or Eagles?
Chiefs.
Eagles don't score in the first quarter, do they? Isn't that their thing this year?
Not until the playoffs, it seems. Yeah. First
In
turnover
the
of the
AFC
game.
Championship game, they drove down the field immediately.
What was the last question?
First turnover. Fumble, INT, turnover on downs, missed field goal. No turnovers. First turnover of the game.
Turnover on downs.
Barkley fumble.
Whoa,
Oh,
you going
God.
smart.
Oh. You went super specific
I
there.
don't like this.
I'll say
Don't like it.
I'll say missed field goal.
Nah, they're going to go for
Barkley
it too much in
fumbling.
the first that early.
Yeah. I don't know if Eagles turnover differential has been like out of this world this season. Like Jalen Hurts has a couple picks, but Eagles are punching the ball out. I don't know if you guys saw an article recently, but Sirianni made them watch the Peanut Tillman video like for a couple hours of him just punching his highlight reel and punching balls out. Yeah, so they've got like recovered 14 fumbles or 15 fumbles this year so far as a result. Whereas usually the Eagles defense stinks in turnovers. So I don't even know the Chiefs. Chiefs are Eagles defense top 5, Chiefs defense top 5, Eagles rushing attack top, Chiefs rushing attack, I would say not that good, right? But Chiefs passing attack is like top 5, whereas Eagles passing attack is like, I'd say probably bottom 15 or bottom 10. But yeah.
So
all right, first committed.
Derek, what was your answer on that?
No turnovers.
No turnovers.
It's probably gonna be so there's another option, missed field goal. So I could stay with the Jake Elliott stick, and he's probably gonna miss a field goal. I didn't hear your response, so yeah, I'll back you up.
Well, it doesn't have to be a turnover for the Eagles. It just has to be the first turnover.
I'd say everything about this week on Sunday is about the Eagles.
Butker tends to miss some too. So
I have 4 bets down. National anthem over. Coin toss is tails. First offensive play is a run, and the first team to score is the Chiefs.
Well, and what's your?
Let's rock that parlay.
All right, and then what was the first turnover? Did you guess?
So we all had different answers.
All right, what's the next one, Derek?
First penalty accepted.
Oh God, holding.
No. Sorry, just team. Chiefs or Eagles.
Oh,
Definitely gonna be what?
Eagles.
That's tough. Yeah. I don't like that bet.
Eagles.
Also, mind you, these are the current Vegas props being offered at the sportsbooks.
Over under 5.5 times Taylor Swift is shown on television.
I didn't see that. I don't see those odds, but I think it'll probably be over.
Is she bringing Caitlin Clark with her again?
Probably. They might have a game. I don't know. Derek, do you want to say hi to our next guest?
Who is it? Is it Dusty?
Let's bring him on. Let's bring on our next guest down in Bradenton, Florida. I think we're going to see him here in a couple weeks, hopefully. But let's welcome to the show Mr. Tim Mayza on his new assignment down there.
Whoa, what a guy.
How's it going, Timmy?
Great. What's going on?
You meet the guys
is it true that are you going to the Pirates? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, it's done.
Or
Done deal.
who broke the news? Was it Jeff Passan or was it Brooks Rothschild?
The jet plane?
I don't know who broke it. Probably
How many kids you got now? You have 2 kids?
Yeah, I have 2 boys, so 4 and 2.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Did you have to do artificial insemination to get those boys, or you just did it naturally?
Natural.
Man, Lynn knows that kind of show.
Love it. Yeah.
Turn it over, Daddy. I want a puppy.
Jesus, I knew this is where this is gonna go.
Tim, I have a real question. Other than artificial insemination,
Yeah.
what is the physical process like when you go to a team?
Like what was the physical with the new team?
Yeah. So what do they do? They poke prod you, obviously, but like, what are they checking? Are they checking your arm specifically, or are they checking like every single orifice of your goddamn body?
I mean, I know some guys. It's like they will do an MRI of like their whole body.
Holy shit!
With some guys who it's like, I feel like if there's maybe a little more money involved, or they know they've had like surgery like recently, they'll do like MRIs to make sure everything's all right. But this one was like a normal spring training physical, wasn't like pretty painless. And then if anything popped up, they would have done an MRI. Like if the doctor's moving like limbs around and all of a sudden like he's like, I don't know how that, I don't like the way that feels, then an MRI would have happened. But yeah, so I drove out to Pittsburgh on Thursday, drove back, and then got down here yesterday.
Do you find out your physical results like right away, or do you have to wait?
No, I found them. I got the physical was like from 9 to 11, and I got the physical results at 2.
Okay.
Joe wants to know how much you turned down from Michael Elias.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think Joe. I don't think the Orioles were
a house in Pittsburgh.
Do what? I'll rent a place.
Like, are you and the family moving to Pittsburgh, or are you okay?
No, we're still in Lancaster, and then we'll just rent in Pittsburgh.
And Tim, like, how does that work? Does the team set you up with a rental property, or
you can do a little bit of your own research, or you could use like a realtor to kind of help you. So we're just like in the process of kind of looking, seeing what's out there, and then the tough part's like a lot of these places, they look for like 12-month leases. So you gotta find somebody who's willing to do short term, or there's been times when I try to do a 6-month lease and they're like, well, can you do a 7, because then I lose out on potential revenue from like January to April 1st. So like, could you pick up an additional month so that I don't like lose as much potential revenue?
And then will the whole family come out with you?
They're coming down to spring for like 2 weeks, just because everything happens so fast. They're going to come down here for 2 weeks, and then they'll meet me in Pittsburgh. Yep. Because we only live about 3.5 hours from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So is the family going to stay in Pittsburgh, or are they going to stay in Lancaster for school and stuff?
I think they'll probably go back and forth. Yeah, like they'll probably go back and forth, depending on what the schedule's like.
Yeah.
If we're on the road for 10 days, they'll probably go back home.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of nice though that you're only 3.5 hour drive now. That's what I was thinking, and then I was also selfishly thinking this is going to work out great for spring training.
You look good in yellow and black.
Well, considering Millersville.
Yeah.
That was a question, Tim.
Back in it.
Back in the old black and yellow.
Back. Maybe the pants.
So are you a lefty specialist now again, or are you kind of back end, or did they tell you what kind of role
I'll give you back end there.
Saddled with? Yeah, you'd like that.
Probably situational lefty still.
I mean, there's really not a lefty specialist anymore, Derek. They got to face a minimum 3 batters.
You know what I mean.
So,
I'm sure Brooks and Derek and Tim know this already, but can you explain to Della and I what's the difference between a major league contract and a minor league contract?
Money.
Yeah, the major league side is it's like a guaranteed contract. The minor league would be like an NRI, is what it's called, like a non-roster invite. You show up, you're not on the roster, you go through spring training, pitching your way to try and be selected onto the roster, and if not, you go to the minor leagues. But really, it's like a split contract, so you have a major league salary and a minor league salary. But when you sign a major league deal, the salary's guaranteed.
Okay.
Yep.
And what's league? What is league minimum now? By the way, and this
Seven. I think it's like $750.
Bro.
Brian just wants you to put out to the world how much money you're making.
No. That's not what I'm doing.
All right, I got a question really quickly. It's a quiz for not Mayza. I know I texted him when this happened, but I was following when you were first, your first like couple appearances or whatever, and you guys were playing some team. I won't even mention it. First home run that you gave up against. Do you remember it, Mayza? Don't say it. And then the question is to Brooks and Brian and Dell.
The first home run he ever gave up?
First home run he gave up as a major
in the
league,
minors?
in an official game, official Major League Baseball game.
I'm going to go Mike Trout.
Think National League.
So it was
Mayza, do you even remember this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Was it Harper?
Think NL Central.
I don't know.
Think Chicago
Chris Bryant?
Cubs.
Chris Bryant?
No.
You say Cubs?
Mayza, give it to him. Give it to him, Mayza.
Rizzo?
No.
Never gonna get it. I don't know.
Jason Hayward?
spell it.
Say it. Yeah.
Javi Baez.
Javi Baez. Yeah.
Did you know that, Derek?
But I think the ball
you
that
just
he
remember
hit,
that?
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
For whatever
a man
reason,
just walked
I don't
in
know why I
wearing
remembered
a very
that.
nice hat.
But I think the ball that Javi Baez hit,
How about that?
I think it was a 59-foot fastball, and he golfed it off the turf into the stands.
Man, I think he's a fan of yours.
I'm just kidding, but yeah, it was not a 59-foot fastball.
For some reason, Tim's flexing right now on the
Yeah,
camera.
keep sliding that sleeve up on the shows that bicep.
Yeah, he just came from a workout. Have you
Yeah.
met anybody on the team yet? Skeens down there?
No. Jared Jones was there today, so play catch with him.
Ask him when he's going to be an Oriole.
Jared Jones, okay.
Yeah,
And then
he doesn't know yet, but we're trading for him.
guys will start trickling in this week, but there's not many down here right now. A couple rehab guys, and then he's the only guy I met today that him and really just him. And then I think Bednar will get here like Wednesday, and guys will start trickling in.
Gotcha. Tell them they got to join the Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture podcast while we're down there.
Bednar?
All of them. Skeens, mostly Skeens.
Mostly Skeens.
And Jared Jones, because he's going to be an Oriole here soon.
Hey, Tim, how's the facility?
Good. I don't think I've explored, or maybe I saw most of it. So Pirate City and the Tigers, they have their own dorms in the facility. So a lot of the minor league guys will live in these dorms for spring training, and then if you're in the GCL, you'll live in the dorms. And so those are the only two that I know where guys actually live. So they call it Pirate City, and it's just like a complex of dorms, lunchroom. You got your locker rooms, and then your typical 4 or 5 fields out back with your mounds and stuff like that. But I didn't get to see any of the dorms today. But yeah, I think more teams are trying to build housing on their complexes. I think it's just one less thing that the teams have to worry about with transportation, figuring out hotel rooms. I think the Phillies might have tried to build like a hotel on their minor league complex, but I think the city of Clearwater kind of shot it down because they're like, well, this is revenue you're taking away from the hotels in Clearwater. But it's cool. It's a nice complex.
Did you get to you get to pick out your number yet?
Yeah, so I'm number 18.
Oh,
Really?
It was
Perfect.
between
Number 18.
it was between 6 and 18, and I let my son pick, and he was like 18, so I was like, all right. The third base coach wears 58, so he has something. I think it's like a family thing with him and his daughter. They wear kind of the same number. She plays sports, wears 58. He wears 58. I guess he wore 58 playing. So, new number, new start. So I'm kind of rocking with 18. Pretty happy that my son picked 18 because I'm not a fan of like single digits on pitchers.
Yeah, that looks a little awkward. I don't love that.
Yeah.
What about on
Tim,
linebackers?
if Derek got in the box and you're pitching, where are you hitting him? Where are you going to hit him?
I mean, to be fair, they faced each other in inter squads.
You drum in the back, you drum in the ass, drum in the head.
Yeah, right in the ass.
Well, he wouldn't feel that. All right, the people want to know any other MLB offers. What other offers were we had on the table? What were we mulling over here the last couple weeks?
Yeah, it was really between the Twins, the Pirates, and the Yankees, and a lot of minor league deals. Like I had a lot of non-roster invites, and fortunately the Pirates, came and offered a big league contract, and I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll sign right now. But yeah, they were the only team to offer me a major league deal. The rest were non-roster, kind of minor league type deals.
Yeah, and Joe was sitting here asking about a free agent with no options left. And at like Tim's age, that's probably, unless you're like somebody who's like a bona fide all-star, that's probably how it's going to go. You're going to try to go with some of the guaranteed major league offers. So
yeah, and depending on service time, depending on your service time, they have to get your permission to option you. I think that's 5 years. Once you hit 5 years, I believe they have to get your permission to option you. And then otherwise it's pretty much a DFA'd and released. So similar to kind of what happened last summer, like, kind of, do you want to be optioned or you want to be DFA'd? And I think it was time for a fresh start from the Jays. So ultimately took the release and ended up on the Yankees. But yeah, the way options work is usually you have 3 options, but once you hit 5 years, they have to get your permission to option you down AAA.
You have a guy that when he stepped in the box, you were scared of?
That I'm scared of?
You can say no, please. But I mean, just is there a guy you walked in the box like Emmanuel Ramirez, making up a name?
Yeah. I mean, you got to think of. For me, it's probably you're looking at. I don't know, scared, but like Mike Trout is somebody that comes to mind. Just the guys who. It's like you really have to execute pitches, and there's not a whole lot of room for error. The other dangerous ones are the ones that can hit balls out of the zone for home runs. Like say like a Shohei Ohtani, where it's like you could get him out here, but he could also hit a home run here. So those type of guys are pretty dangerous. But yeah, I mean, anytime you're playing against those big all stars, like the big time bats, it's like you got to make pitches or else, the damage is more than likely a home run.
Is there a guy you wish you could have thrown to?
What was that?
Dead or alive?
Go ahead.
What'd you say, what?
Brian?
Sorry, we cut out there.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Sorry, is there a guy you wish you could have thrown to, dead or alive?
Like a catcher?
No. Hitter.
Babe Ruth.
All right, this has been a big sticking point here in Baltimore, and I mean, I feel like it's come up more this offseason than not. And we talked about this before, but Joe wants to know what the tax process looks like for Toronto in terms of your paycheck. Because this has been a huge thing with just like free agents and over the last couple of years, and it was a huge thing with just with the Orioles and acquiring free agents this year. It was talked about quite a bit. Whether it was an issue in getting people, we don't know, but it definitely been a huge talking point. So people were wondering if this was a huge deal for Toronto being second place in a lot of people's. I mean, they were in on everybody, right? It felt like, but they were always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So
yeah. I mean, I think guys take into consideration taxes. I mean, I think taxes in Canada is like maybe 54%. So there's 54% of your paycheck going to Canada. And so it's just the way taxes work is like you're paying tax in every state you play in. So half your games are in Toronto, whatever the sum of your contract is in Toronto, half of that goes to Canada. So you're paying Canadian federal taxes, U.S. federal taxes, and then you're paying taxes in every state that you play in. So I think California, New York, Toronto, I believe are probably the three highest tax percentage like states or provinces.
I think Boston's
in
up there
baseball.
too.
Yeah, so I think guys do take it into consideration, like how much they're going to see of the contract. I don't know. I think on the outside, people don't want to deal with the border a little bit. It's like, they view it as a different country. Like, my family has to worry about the border going back and forth. And I think once you're there and you get used to it, it's not that big of a deal. But I do think the tax thing is real when you're looking at going somewhere for a long period of time and how much money in that contract you're going to see.
And I believe it's called like a duty days calc, right? Where let's say you're a pitcher, you could technically only take the appearances that you made in, let's say, your away games, and then apply that city, state, whatever sales tax to across your salary. Is that correct?
No, like if I don't pitch for 3 days, but we're playing in California, I pay the tax for those 3 days, regardless if I pitch or not.
Daily pay.
I think the interesting part in all this is kind of what the Dodgers are doing. Like you see, so the Dodgers are deferring all this money. I'm pretty certain like the state of California is not going to allow Shohei Ohtani to move to Arizona or Florida when he's done playing and collect massive amounts of money without paying California tax. Like, I don't know how that's going to work with all the deferred money. Like,
they're going to have to right now.
Eventually, California is going to come and collect theirs and be like, listen, you played for, I don't know how it's going to work, but I see an issue there with taxes where California is going to expect to see some tax money out of that contract, but with it being deferred, like what's stopping Ohtani from having a house in Florida and just collecting all that money? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's pretty wild, and we'll see what happens. The deferred contracts and how that affects, how they pay taxes and what the state sees. But I can't imagine that California is too happy with the amount of deferred money going on right now.
That's honestly great forecasting by you, because there's without a doubt this new CBA that's going to be coming up in about a year or two. They're definitely looking into this.
I think it's up next year.
And when you're talking about the millions and millions, I mean, $700 million. I mean, think about the tax revenue that will go to the state of California. You're 100% correct, Tim.
Well, let's ask Derek about this. Who's a CPA in California? Derek, do you have any insight on this at all? You would know probably better than any of us, or you and Tim probably know a little bit better.
What are we talking about?
So with the deferred money with the Dodgers, at this moment in time, the way the law is, I believe is all that deferred money he does not have to pay tax on if he defers it, and then whenever he collects on it, it's going to be wherever he resides at that point. Correct? So California's got to be pretty pissed about that. There's probably going to be something that changes.
Yeah, I don't know. Technically, the whole law is wherever you earned it, right? That money is for him playing the Dodgers. He's supposed to be a Dodgers player. I would expect California to want that piece of that action, right?
Definitely want a piece.
It's not like, hey, I'm going to give this to you, and then you get to move across the country or move internationally, and then you don't get to pay tax on it. I don't think that's how it works, just from an IRS or California FTB perspective.
Yeah, but I mean, there's got to be some way around it, or they wouldn't be doing it that way as well. Or a lot of people.
Think they're talking. They're not. I think they're just doing it so that they got Ohtani, right, and they don't have to pay him all that salary until later on. They're kicking the can, just like any type of other budgetary person would do.
I agree, but I mean, the incentive. I mean, that's great for like the Dodgers, right? But I mean, it's not as great for somebody like Ohtani who might want more money guaranteed. Like he's not getting a ton of money up front on this deal, which he might not care about, but he might be looking in the future to be like, all right, there's some kind of tax break or savings or a workaround in the future for as far as like, hey, if I'm collecting a lot of this money after I'm already gone, I just don't know the ins and outs.
Less money up front is less money for him to lose on gambling. So I don't know. He might like it.
Fair. I mean, another good story right now are the San Diego Padres and their organization, what they're going through at the moment. But that's a whole nother podcast. We could probably dive into that. But Tim, what do you got on deck here the next couple of weeks? Are you still in the ramp up period? How's this off season been? Where are we sitting right now? How are we feeling?
Yeah, we're good. I'm pretty ramped up. I started bullpens early. Just really wanted to clean some things up, work on some pitch shapes and a little bit of pitch design. So I started bullpens probably mid-December. And then I threw 2 lives the past 2 Fridays. This week I'll do 2 bullpens heading into camp, and then I'll throw 1 bullpen once camp starts, 2 lives, and then games will start. So it's really 3 times off the mound roughly before games start. I mean, games start the 20 something, so you're in camp maybe 2 weeks before games. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty ramped up. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it'll be fun. I mean, you look at, Skeens is probably, arguably the greatest pitcher on the planet right now, and Jared Jones exciting, Mitch Keller, and getting to see them work, close up firsthand will be fun to watch. But no, I'm pretty ramped up. Did some stuff with the slider, added a cutter midway through last year, trying to get like more separation on the cutter and the slider, just to have 2 more unique pitches, and in particular probably use the cutter for righties, as opposed to lefties. I think it has a little bit more opportunity to play up against right-hand hitters and just kind of manage righties while continuing to get lefties out. It's kind of the goal with that. But no, I mean, excited for camp. We'll see what happens. Definitely a younger group than maybe what was in New York or Toronto. So maybe they'll instill some youth into me. But we'll see about that.
All right, what do you guys got? You guys got any more questions for Tim while he's on here before we go down and see him in spring training?
Super Bowl. Isn't Mayza an Eagles fan? Who do you got for the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah,
I am a Birds fan. I have my jersey here somewhere.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Let's go.
I do have my jersey. Down here. Here it is.
Are we nervous?
Dawkins?
Are we nervous? How we feeling?
I love it.
Is that Weapon X?
Oh, you know it.
There, I love it.
How am I feeling? I'm not nervous. I mean, you guys know Bob Sunkel. He like watches the game like through like his stairway, like the bars and the stairs. Like sometimes he'll be laying there just looking through it. He's like, I don't know how you guys handle the game. But like 2 weeks ago, like Malwin's a Rams fan. So like 2 weeks ago was having him run his mouth all week, and
Get out of here.
But ooh, man, I was pretty good last week. I was saying it was gonna birds by like 35 all week.
Birds by 35.
Birds by 35.
That's what it was.
A lot of confidence.
I had a lot of confidence last week.
A lot of confidence.
Yeah, a lot. I was like, they just played a defense they were in wheelchairs. Like the Lions.
Why are you and Brooks doing the same thing? I don't like this.
A lot of confidence.
A lot of confidence.
I see this game
That's an inside
being
joke,
like,
sorry.
I think birds by a touchdown. And I think the key is to not let Mahomes get the ball for the last possession. Like I can see like a 4 minute drive where they just run out the clock and don't let him get the ball back. But
I got Eagles 35-32. That's my prediction.
That's a lot.
I hope the Chiefs don't score 30 points. If the Chiefs, if they score 30 plus points, I'm nervous.
Yeah, because the Eagles, the way they play is not for. I mean, it's not for a shootout.
Yeah, the fact that they can run the ball for 200 yards a game and put up the numbers that they have been on the scoreboard is crazy. So they just need to take a grind it out.
I like Saquon getting 100 plus yards.
What is the over-under in this game?
But 100 plus yards
48 or 49
rushing,
and a half.
Rushing. 100,
Rushing.
100 yards rushing. 100 plus rushing.
He's going to go over one. He's 120 yards probably for Saquon. They're going to feed him the ball.
I mean, maybe they just have one possession last the whole game, and they push it 50 times down the field, and the Chiefs never touch the ball.
All right, Tim, we're going to segue into our draft here. And if you want to have just like an off-the-cuff pick, the draft today, you just have to give one, is best athlete never to win a championship.
Yeah, if you guys want to stick around, let us know. If you don't, it's just going to be us. Whatever you guys want to do. You guys think you can get 5 out of this, out of a snake draft?
I would have to Google it.
Well, yeah, you can Google. I mean, I'm using Google right now.
You have a little.
I was hoping that we were going to do fast food rankings again and do that draft.
Well, I wasn't prepared for that, but we could.
I'm just kidding. Mayza, the last question. When's the last time you saw John?
Last week.
Sorry.
This is where we need Dusty. We need the rails.
I was at his house last week.
Oh, I love it. Nice. Tell him I said hi.
Yeah.
Tell him I said hi.
Yeah.
All
right. Every time I see Derek, I just think of we had like the week between the regional championship and the World Series, and like Derek had to throw live, and he was like either not trying or John didn't think he was trying, so he was like barking at like Derek, are you gonna try today? And he looks at the dugout, and I was a freshman, and Derek goes, I'm working on things. I'm working on it.
Is that when Derek chucked the ball to the warning track?
I don't know. That was not it, but that was another time. Same with John and my wife. They just know how to get a reaction out of me. I don't know what it is with them.
We all know how to get a reaction out of you, Derek.
Like I tell everybody, I'm the most calm, less of
okay.
person they've ever met.
Well, actually, one of the craziest
things
I've met.
All right, folks, we told you.
Yeah.
We told you the little.
I gotta go in 4 minutes. So.
All right. Do you want to be a part of this draft or no?
Yeah, I could get 5 for sure.
All right, then no. Get out of here, Derek. We love you. We're gonna have you on again. We're gonna have you on again soon if you want to be on.
Go Birds.
Maybe I'll get
Birds. Love you.
Maybe we'll get Derek, Tim, and John on at the same time.
Wait, we gotta see. Oh, just for good measure. You see that? Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP. Let's do it.
Jesus Christ. Get out of here. Get a bigger hat. Go climb
love you all. It's against the phone.
It's the phone. That's what it is. All right,
Maybe
boys.
he can upgrade his Wi-Fi next time he gets on.
Well, him and you.
Is my Wi-Fi bad? Because it's clear as day over here.
No, yours is definitely better than his, but his was terrible.
Oh
I
man.
think California's throttling him right now. Let me see. I guess it's just me and you, Brian, to see who goes first.
Why don't we
From
let
last-
Tim pick the draft order?
All right, go ahead, Tim. Do you want to go? So it's regular snake draft. So if you're picking third, you get a wraparound pick. If you're picking first, you get a wraparound
Now
pick
you're
on the way
picking
back.
4. Remember, we're picking 4 now. It's Tim's in.
Yeah, but you still get a wraparound pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, who goes first?
Who goes first?
Like,
What's on second?
Yeah.
No, you just tell us where do you want to pick? Do you want one of the
Where do you wanna
wraparound
pick,
spots? Do you want first or fourth or somewhere in between?
I want fourth.
Okay.
4th? Okay.
All right.
Rusty,
I'm gonna
why
pull.
don't you go first? Dell goes second. I'll go third.
All right. So with the pick, I mean, I got to go with who everybody compares all the quarterbacks to is Dan Marino. He's the most recognizable. I feel like that everyone brings up first every single time.
Dell's going second.
I got to write these down because Dusty's not here to take them.
I'm going to take a quarterback. I'm going to take a Boston Red Sox. I'm going to take Ted Williams.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Great. I get to go third. I'm going Barry Sanders. You got 2.
I get 2. All right. I'm going Ken Griffey Jr.
Yep.
And I'm going to go with Charles Barkley.
Damn.
Nice work. Nice work.
I thought Barkley would
With my
fall to me.
wraparound pick, I am going. I'm going Tony Gwynn.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to go with the guy who has the most seasons of any player to not win a championship. His name is Vince Carter. 22 seasons without a championship.
I mean, that's his own fault. He played for that long. All right. Let me go. I'll go to basketball. Give me Karl Malone.
Yeah. The mailman.
And then with my wraparound, I'm going to go. Ooh, it's an interesting one. Give me Barry Bonds.
That's studly picks. Those are stud picks.
Does that put it on me?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stay off of a quarterback again. I'm gonna go with the man from the Cleveland Browns who played 11,000 consecutive snaps and barely went to the playoffs. His name is Hall of Famer Joe Thomas.
Fuck yeah. That's on me now. I'm going with the man who has the most catches by a tight end for all time, Tony Gonzalez. Mayza, you got 2.
Yeah, I'm going LaDainian Tomlinson, LT.
Damn, I didn't have him on my list.
Me either.
And then I'm going with Allen Iverson.
Damn.
The answer.
That's who I should have not let that fall.
That's me. All right. I'm taking the greatest athlete of all time, Mr. Vincent Bo Jackson.
I took one from. I'm staying with football. I'm going to take the great Dick Butkus.
Oh man, What a draft. They drafted Dick Butkus and Gale Sayers in 4 picks. How crazy of a draft is that?
Oh man, I have my last 2 to round me out.
By the way, I wish you could see Dell's list. He's writing down when we drafted it and what number is next to it.
Well, yeah, I'm doing that as well because we got to keep track of this to put out a graphic.
On the screen. So I can
Where did it go? Oh, throwback. Give me a Ty Cobb.
Never won a championship?
Nope.
Really? No clue.
And do I want to go with that? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. And give me Roy Halladay because he's one of my favorite pitchers of all time.
Roy Hobbs.
Roy Halladay.
Halladay.
Roy Hobbs. He never won one either.
Yeah, fair.
Roy Halladay, one of the biggest men I've ever met my entire life. I coached against him down in East Cobb County, and he was coaching his son's Florida team. Obviously, right before he unfortunately passed away in a plane crash. He was so broad, and his hands were so massive, just like Justin Verlander's.
All right, so my last one, I'm going to go NBA. I'm not a huge NBA fan, but he recently passed away. He's one of the coolest cats in the room. I'm going to take Dikembe Mutombo.
All right. There's a big baseball one here that we have not said yet.
Well, I got a few big ones.
Yeah, we got a couple big ones. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stay in baseball world. I'm going Corey Shrimpsky. Yes.
All right, and the last pick. Mr. Mayza.
Going Reggie Miller.
Not a bad one.
Tim, you got any mentions?
Yeah. Tim, any honorable mentions?
Maybe Adam Oates, hockey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we didn't pick a single hockey player.
Caps. Eric Lindros.
Yep.
Ooh, Lindros, great call.
Gardner
Matt
for the
Sundin.
Caps as well.
All right.
Matt Sundin with
Kelly, you got any,
Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I think Patrick Ewing, Rod Carew, Warren Moon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Brooks, you got any honorable mentions? Give 3.
I do. One of the big baseball ones that I thought would be taken is Ernie Banks.
Probably on my list.
Yeah.
Ernie Banks was not taken. John Stockton, Elgin Baylor, Dominique Wilkins, and Bruce Smith and Jim Kelly. I thought Jim Kelly might have been taken.
Ooh.
Yeah. Craig Biggio.
Craig Biggio.
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson, J.J. Watt, Mike Trout is someone that him and I talked about. Pistol Pete Maravich, and Philip Rivers.
Ooh, Philly. Here's some of the other ones that were in our chat. McNabb, Jim Kelly, we said on it. Steve McNair,
Earl Campbell,
Sammy Sosa,
Rod Carew.
Don Kruk. Well, you said Rod Carew.
Yeah.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I was
Andrew
wondering.
Luck.
Oh, Dan Fouts.
Dan Fouts.
Dan Fouts, a big one.
Steve Nash.
Ooh.
Where's another one at?
Randy
Tracy
Moss.
McGrady.
Randy Moss. Think about that.
Oh yeah, because they lost the last game when they were going undefeated.
Yep.
Holy shit. And remember, Randy Moss was actually on that Niners team that the Ravens beat in the Super Bowl. People forget about that.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. Randy Moss was on that team.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, I got nothing else, Timmy. I guess one of our updates, we're looking at either the last week of February, first week of March to go down to spring training. While we're there, we're going to be right in between Tim and the Orioles. Tim's complex is about 30 minutes from the Orioles stadium. So we'll get to see Tim while we're down there. We'll probably have a live show with him, schedule pending, and hopefully do some cool stuff with some Orioles guys too. So that's really the only update I have. I'll give you guys the actual dates once we get them locked in with with Brian and with Dusty. So Timmy, thanks for coming on again. Appreciate you always coming on the show.
Tim, congratulations.
Yeah, man.
I mean, seriously,
Thank you.
congratulations, man.
Thanks.
Kick some ass.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Yep. Sounds good. Will do.
And I just looked it up. The Pirates come to Baltimore in September, so that might be another trip.
There you go.
Might be a
Yeah,
trip
baby.
out.
There it is.
So,
Hey, man,
Deli,
keep it up. Keep it up.
Deli,
Keep it
appreciate
going. Keep the spin rate going. Do your thing, man.
Yep. Will do. Thanks, guys.
appreciate Delaware for coming on today as well.
Yeah, fun time.
We're going to start doing maybe a segment with Mr. Deli. If you guys want to name it, our preliminary one was What's Cooking with Del? What's Cooking with Delaware?
Del.
If you guys have a good one, throw it in the comments somewhere.
Do we have a burger for tomorrow? We don't even know.
We
yet.
do have a burger for tomorrow. Tomorrow's we do a $5 burger every Tuesday, and we have a pizza called the Controversy. So we're going to do a controversy burger. It is going to be Black Forest ham, bacon, pineapple, and a soy glaze, just like
Delicious. Joe Radke wants Tim to do some Captain Hook impressions now that he's a Pirate. Maybe we'll get him to wear an eye patch out to the mound or something while he's running out.
Yeah.
Shit. Brian, why don't you send us off?
Yeah. Hey, guys. I do this podcast every week for one reason and one reason only. I have friends who love me. They're all on this podcast right now. I sit here and I giggle now because it's so easy to say, but mental health is a major issue in society, and we all do a very good job of bringing awareness to it. I have friends here that are next to me. I have friends here who are on camera with me. Just take care of yourselves. Be good. All right.
Appreciate you. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Deli. See you guys
Man,
here Thursday.
Keep kicking ass, man. Come on.
All right. See you guys.